didn't.
Join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Our clock is on. 1 hour. First order of business is approve the minutes of Monday, November 7th, as presented.
I so moved.
Tom's moved.
All second.
Tim second. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Go to miscellaneous motions. There were some handed out. Y'all got them on. We'll start with handed out pieces first. Move to authorize direct the chairman to sign Coffee County payroll notice for Amber Madden, new hire, appraisal specialist, 30-1, wage starting at $17.32, effective 12/1/22. And I checked it, and it's right in line for there's no funny numbers or anything.
That's starting salary.
Yep, that's number one, yep.
I'll make the motion.
Tim's moved. Second. Tom second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, next is, move to approve legal holidays for Coffee County employees during calendar year 2023 and New Year's Day 2024. New Year's. Should we read them all? New Year's, Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas, New Year's.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Tim moved, Bob second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
I'll sign something. You got it?
Yeah.
Original.
Yep. Is that the original?
Well, there's
Oh, yeah,
two
I
other
guess there's not a
motions.
motion, Jeff. Move to approve the memo to department heads and elected officials regarding personal days for 2023.
There are none.
There are none, there are no personal days? Okay.
Figure that one.
I'll
We still
move.
need to approve.
I'll move.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Move to approve resolution number 892, a resolution demonstrating support of the application of the Coffee County Housing Authority for a startup housing opportunity venture loan shovel and of the low-income housing tax credit and housing investor tax credit programs.
This is what we talked about last
Yeah.
week.
See, this is
Or
one.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Well, I guess you did bring it up, wanting the resolution last week, and we didn't have it yet,
Yeah.
but Wade worked on it, and he's got it for it, so.
I'll move.
Tom's moved,
I'll second.
Tim second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
The original one is.
Yeah, they're up there, and I put all the originals up top there for you, Jesse.
Oh, so this appraiser, okay, this is the original. Okay.
And then on that letter, if you'll initial the top by your name, that I had attached for personal days.
Okay. Personal days letter, can I have that?
I wouldn't have an.
I think it's right under your paper there. Is that it? Or no?
This is calendar year work hours, figured annually, therefore, that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the personal days, yeah.
You want me to
Initial
initial?
it by your name, yeah. Thank you.
Alright, there's a resolution. Did the legal holidays originally go flying around?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're already on
I'll
that.
use that as a copy then. That was all those, wasn't it?
That's where all those extra ones came.
Next is move to authorize director chairman to sign 12 tax abatements in the total amount of $10,416.32. That is a lot. of
And
tax
those,
abatements.
just so you know, when we shut down for preparing the tax roll, this kind of stuff's still going on behind the scenes, and we can't do anything with them until after we open back up to
Okay.
start processing business. So for the past 2 months, almost,
Been holding.
we've had to hold, so that's why there's so many.
Look like most of them are in my district, so I'll move.
All second.
Bob's moved, Tim seconded. Any discussion?
Looks like it's all personal property, not real estate, except for maybe one or two. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
No further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Those are the abatements there, okay.
There's some in the folder.
Yep, in the green folder,
Okay.
yep. I'll sign them late for all of them.
Okay.
I think that's the conclusion of our book.
So are these the ones that we have to recount or redo? The ones,
That's the audit we have to do.
the ones that are highlighted?
And we'll draw off of those at, I think it's 10.
We'll go to 905, Economic Development, Bobby Skipper,
Morning, Commissioner.
Bishop Patterson.
Good morning.
Morning.
The attorney, David Cooper with Fisher, Patterson, Saylor, and Smith, he was gonna be here this morning. He got turned around and has to head back to Topeka. So, I was gonna call him and let him talk about this document here, which I would ask the commission to authorize the chairman to sign. If you give me 1 second, I'll dial the attorney.
His name, David.
Yes, sir. Hey, David, this is Bobby Skipper. I'm in front of the, yes, sir, I'm in front of the commissioners in a public meeting. And I just handed out the initial PPP, and I told them that you would talk them through it.
Alrighty.
Everybody here.
I can hear. Go ahead, David.
All right, just for clarity, the initial PPP, why we're calling it the initial PPP is this is the parent. There's an expectation that we will have additional members joining. And then there is an expectation there will be separate sub-agreements between members of the consortium. So thus, the initial, or the word initial, for the agreement. We are in the process of preparing to submit a response to the Department of Commerce's request for information, and we intend to submit with that the identity of the cluster, you'll see that we've settled on the name Kansas Semiconductor Manufacturing Consortium, which we're in the process of both reserving the name for and incorporating. And broad strokes, the agreement simply identifies the parties who have committed to being a part of the project, and everybody agreeing to use their best efforts to bring this to fruition for purposes of the CHIPS Act, and it is our recommendation and request that the County Commission both formally approve the PPP and authorize the chairman to sign on behalf of Coffee County.
I know that David's hired Wade, but have you went through this? I mean, yeah.
I've not, but you have multiple attorneys who are involved in this, and I would support, if David recommends it, then I would support the board blessing it.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Okay. So I guess with that, I will move to approve this, agreement. I mean, have the chairman sign it.
Move to direct the chairman to sign the Kansas Semiconductor Manufacturing Consortium.
That's exactly right, I said.
That's what you said,
That's what
wasn't
I
it?
said.
Bob's moved,
Second.
Tom second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. This one?
For the logistics, I'm gonna ask that that be signed and provided to Bobby so that he can have the original scanned and submitted to go along with our RFI package today.
It's in his hand.
Folks, I appreciate it very much.
Thanks, David.
All right,
Bye.
bye all.
Initially, what I handed you right behind that first document, initially we had Silicon Prairie as the handle for the site and the project, but there's about 30 Silicon Prairies in the United States, and it's so generic, it doesn't have the impact. So in talking with Department of Commerce, our local Department of Commerce, the state Department of Commerce, and others, we decided to formally create a name that is identifiable specifically to what we're doing, and has the state of Kansas at the forefront, because that is important to the federal government. Are these type projects in states, in the Midwestern states? What you see on that, all those logos, I guess what we need help with is understanding a computer chip, or it has circuitry, and you understand what nodes look like on a computer chip. What logo visually hits you and describes what we're doing best? You don't have to make a decision, but it would be great to have your input. This particular entity, this entity and the site itself, is going to be such a piece of the community fabric in decades to come. It's nice that you have opportunity, or at least time, to choose the name and choose the logo.
Mine's probably gonna be 2B. But, like I said,
Right now, mine stands as one eye.
one eye. Kinda looks like a wheat head.
That's right.
That's what I like.
And I like that. I like that.
I don't have one.
It's here in the corner.
Kinda covers everything, it has the state of Kansas on it.
Bobby, I don't have all of it.
He doesn't have a one
I'm sorry.
eye.
This is the first page evidently.
I'm sorry.
It shows the state,
Mhm.
shows the weed head, along with the,
Or is it too much like a wheat head?
I kinda like it.
I mean, you're trying to pop out a microchip,
But see up above the weed head,
little squiggly
Yeah.
lines. Mhm.
Well,
I kinda like it, it throws all in.
I don't like it for the reason it looked like weed head, because I think this should be something separate than Kansas and weed state.
I'm there, that's
I
why,
don't, to me, the connection doesn't.
We don't need to decide today,
We don't.
right now.
Well, we don't, but we, probably within, by tomorrow, for sure.
Well, we can do it at round table. and
Yeah.
Get your executive session out of there.
I like the idea of having the state symbol.
mhm.
Because tomorrow officially it's kind of like our coming out party on a national level. The federal government's going to recognize this entity and this effort here in Coffee County officially. So whatever we present to them will be set in stone. And it's kind of neat to think back decades ago. Whenever whoever was sitting at a table thinking of what we're going to name this nuclear facility, somebody said, "Hey, let's just name it after that creek," you know. I think that's a neat exercise to go through.
That is.
I like 2C. I think, for right now, as of right now. So, something to think about.
Well, I will get you the rest of your comments later, and anybody has input, greatly appreciate it. I think I handed you one, Mark.
I do like Sam's idea of the state around it though, because I think it needs to say Kansas.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
State, look at it, boy, you see it's Kansas.
Yes, sir. I would ask that one of the commissioners attend a meeting on December 16th here at the courthouse with Lieutenant Governor, the Chief Counsel for the Department of Commerce of the Governor's Office, Deputy Secretary Paul Hughes, and all of their supporting legal staff for the discussion on what kind of legislation they may support in the upcoming legislative session that would benefit Coffee County and its project. They will provide or have provided certain incentives to the industries, but as far as specific incentives to the county, that is what that meeting is for. So any non-quorum group of commissioners are invited.
2 or less.
Yes, sir.
You as chairman, if you contend.
I can probably make it.
And they did ask for me to give a list of who's going to be in the meeting. That's why.
I'd volunteer for that, I'm trying to do the last
Okay.
thing, if it's a problem.
Great. So that's Commissioner Jesse Knight and Commissioner Bob Saresi.
I mean, we can't have 2 there.
You can have two.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
That'll work. I would ask now, with the permission of the commission, to go into executive session for the discussion of land acquisition, to include the commissioners, myself, Attorney Wade Bowie, and that's it.
for 45 minutes.
Yes, sir.
I'll make the motion.
I just always ask.
I'll
them
second.
Huh?
Preliminary discussion.
Preliminary
I mean, that's,
discussion.
the statute
Oh, okay.
says preliminary, so
Okay.
I know that's what it is, just so the word's in there.
You didn't put that word in my mouth. You should've shot it to me and I would've done the preliminary.
It's in there now.
I seconded it.
Jesse moved, Tim seconded. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We will enter at 9:23 for 45 minutes.
Miss Angie?
Yes.
I'm gonna get, a scan of this or copy it and give it to you.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
you too.
Well, all right, we're back.
Okay, so you guys received a copy of the Kansas Secretary of State audit orders for Coffee County, and that is the constitutional amendment on the sheriff election, the U.S. Senate for the federal race, and the Commissioner of Insurance for a statewide race, and then the state legislative Kansas House District 76, and then lastly, the County Commission District Number 1, because that's the only one that's...
We didn't have a contested
Yeah.
race.
Oh.
So we're just supposed to go down the list that they give us
To
on
start,
the county
yeah.
races, and
Take
first
the
one we
first
come
one.
to is it, so we'll be counting Tom versus nobody.
So,
No, there was 22, right?
We didn't report them on the election night even though, so
Yeah, so
we'll
we
be
can't.
looking at that for the audit.
so this is all precincts in
Might
this
have
envelope,
it run by Mickey Mouse.
and we'll put those in the box, and then you'll have to draw. And if you draw one of the wards that Tom's in, we stop.
Okay.
If not, we have to draw his district. so.
Okay.
We only do one of these, right? One of these up here.
No, we do
No, we
all,
do all
count
of
all
them.
those races in one
So you
precinct.
can see that, that's easy.
Mhm.
So whatever he draws from precinct two, they're all in there 3 different times, so.
You got one, yeah.
Star Township.
Okay.
Our township, so we're gonna have to draw a Burlington ward also.
Sorry, I'm not a very good drawer.
Nope, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, the races, it's not really like a recount because these are all blowout races.
Yeah, it's just confirming what we reported on election
Yeah,
night.
just make sure that the machines are doing what they're supposed to be doing on election night as a check.
More if Arizona does this.
Huh?
More if Arizona does this.
They
They
get
get counted first.
I didn't know
That's a bigger
election
one.
lasted
Yeah.
a whole week.
Burlington City, Ward 3.
3.
Okay.
Everything here is saying we pulled out Store Township and Burlington Ward
Yep.
3. I'll get out of here and get back to work.
I'll leave these two out.
Okay, we're done with this piece of paper, then, right?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, hit the blue box.
Did you do the second one?
No, we just needed one. I just had a backup. That was for if we pulled the Burlington one on the first one.
Do we need one for
Yeah,
work?
we're fine.
Okay.
We're fine.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's done.
It's not here.
Yeah, you might see if he's downstairs, he might be yakking down there.
I didn't see him.
Yeah, no. 10:05, he's late.
Okay.
Mm. His boss was down there, maybe his boss made him work.
Yeah. Both bosses.
Yeah, exactly. I know a little bit about it, but if he doesn't show up, I guess I can probably
So we're gonna take a break.
wing it. Do you want a break?
Sure.
Let's take a break. Take a 10-minute? 10-minute break. Come back at 10:24. Roy Friend, you're up, sir.
Right.
City of Lebo.
Yes, I'm here to represent the city of, council members of the city of Lebo.
We're doing some, building a new street in Lebo and modifying some other streets. And we've always gone out of town to Ottawa to buy our street signs, get our street signs made and such. And I got thinking, well, you know, we have a sign department in the county, and I was kind of wanting to maybe get y'all's blessing to, I'd just soon keep the money in the county, if we can do that, if the sign shop be willing to do that, have them make our signs for us, instead of going to Ottawa. That's just all I was wanting.
I think what they do, they buy the blank signs like from Ottawa, but we have the coating that goes over them. I think that's how they make those signs.
I have no
So
clue.
we make them, I think, on blanks.
I see.
Troy called me last week, you know, asked me, well, what I thought. We had a lengthy conversation about a lot of things, but, you know, I said, as long as, you know, as far as I'm concerned, as long as the county gets reimbursed for their expenses, I don't have a problem with it. It's gotta be cheaper than.
How many signs you got?
I think there's like 10 right now, maybe a total of 12 when it's all said and done. We're not quite ready for the ones on that street we're developing, the Thorn Drive up by Miller's, building up by Lebo Garage there. Yeah.
The county gets reimbursed, I mean, suppose Jeff doesn't have a.
You know, we don't wanna get in the habit of just taking over the signs for every city in the county, but we're always willing to help where we can. Troy, after we talked, I'm not sure we have the blanks for that size of sign, so there's still obviously some purchases need to be made.
That's fine. I
We'll
just
just see where we're at. I mean,
if it works, it works. If not, like I said, though, I just thought maybe it'd be, if we could try to keep the money in the county, I'd just soon see us do that.
right.
But
Isn't that what you guys do, get blanks and you?
Yeah, I mean, we're still buying our supplies outside the county. I mean, it comes down to it, the blanks and the.
It may not be cheaper getting them from the county than it would be just go purchase them either.
But we have a lot of knowledge on, more places in Ottawa to get them, where we get a better deal. We can bid them out or help with things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Can you just work with Jeff and
Yeah,
get
yeah.
the best deal you can get?
That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
okay, well, I just
Thanks for volunteering, Jeff.
Okay. I'll get
Yeah.
okay.
Get with him.
I'll get with Jeff.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
I'll
Troy.
get you Janice's number. Okay. Janet, or sign for me. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. Okay, all right, you bet.
Mr. Jeff, you're up. Discussion Kenworth truck.
Yeah, and a couple other things. We can start with that. You guys asked me last week to find out if, we could do a trade-in. The answer is yes. He offered us $14,000 trade-in for our used truck. Craig had done some research on similar trucks, and that's really in the ballpark. We found them anywhere from 10,000 to 19,000 in that range, depending on condition. So, what we've seen, compared to what we have, that is more than doable. I mean, the biggest thing is we need to do a disposal motion as well, if we want to dispose of it by trade-in.
Did you drive the Bears?
Dustin Door did quite a bit. So we looked at it and drove it before I met last Monday, and then we brought it up here and drove it around. Got to do the regen. Everything seemed to be all right, but guys, it is still a used truck.
Right. Well, I just wanted it to go a little further, 10 miles.
Sure.
Because normally they don't.
Make sure that didn't reset.
Yeah,
Right.
rear their ugly head.
Like I said last week, I'm sure we'll have to get that truck in, go through all the fluids, probably take the particulate filter, have it checked.
Do you have a motion for disposal, trade-in?
I believe I do.
It's in your book.
Take your vote.
Yes, I do.
Motion 2022-46, based on recommendation of the interim road and bridge superintendent as to form move to find that 1996 Ford LTL 9000 T60, serial number ending in 540, is no longer required and cannot prudently be used for public purpose of Coffee County and should be disposed of by trade-in to Joe Greer's Used Cars in Yates Center, Kansas for $14,000. Tom's moved,
All second.
Tim seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Motion 2022-46B, based on recommendation of the interim road and bridge superintendent, waive purchasing policy for one used 2012 Kenworth T660 for good cause due to availability and pricing. Purchase will be made from Joe Greer's Used Car in Yates Center, Kansas, with a purchase price of $65,000. Funds to be paid from the 2022 General Fund Public Works Equipment line item.
I'll make the motion.
Tim moved,
Second.
Tom second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
About to clean up our purchases. I think we have one skid steer trailer yet we're trying to figure out, and I think there was a brush hog still for 2022. We ordered a brush hog in 2021 and still haven't got it. So it's a little, do we order another one or what? I don't know. It's just crazy.
Probably get another one on order for
I suppose. So there could be another couple of motions coming hopefully in a couple of weeks for going out for bid on that stuff. So, first shot. Yes, sir.
Andy, should we, in that second motion, should we include that, I know we did it in the one above, but in that motion itself is the purchase with a less of trade-in of
$14,000.
$14,000.
You can.
Should it be in that motion? The other motion, I know.
You're disposing.
We're just disposing of it.
Yeah. Yeah, you could.
This would be with what the actual price would be after the trade-in.
Yeah, you could do less trade-in at $14,000 for a total purchase price of
Yeah, I'm thinking we probably
$51,000.
should do that, so that if somebody looks just at that, they know.
Okay, my first shot at resolution, I know Wayne done several of these, towards the end, met with, Kansas Department of Transportation, a couple of weeks ago. They're still working on their bridge load ratings. From the last round of, bridges that they checked, we had one that is not currently posted, and that it's been recommended that we do post it. So, took the resolution that we had earlier, I think this summer, from a bunch of bridges, added this bridge to it. Had Wade look it over. He had a question on, do you guys have it in front of you? The resolution? Okay. On sentence number 2 at the bottom, that if a bridge is repaired or replaced or reevaluated, the county engineer is authorized to remove any weight limits, signs which are no longer needed, or change the posting due to reevaluation. I talked to Saban. I mean, that's still the case. I can't make those changes. I know we don't have an in-house engineer, but we do have a county engineer. So the verbiage should be fine from here forward, just so that we know that whoever's acting as our county engineer has that authority. So that language is okay with Saban.
Where is 189?
It is,
so everybody will know.
just north. It's on Dobbin, just north of 2nd Road.
And the previous resolution was 8, is that right?
That's correct, and this bridge, we went through it inside and out, this bridge was not on it. But it just, like I said, just come to us a couple weeks ago. This last, round of bridges that they done.
Motion 2022-38, based upon the recommendation of the interim road and bridge superintendent and the Coffee County attorney as a form, move to approve resolution number 6551, establishing the weight limitations for certain bridges countywide.
I so moved.
Tom moved,
I'll second.
Tim seconded, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Is this the original? Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, that'll be fine, and Angie, I know you've got to do, and so, I think if I could just get a copy for our file, put it in our bridge file. Doesn't have to be today, but whenever. Just an update on a couple of projects. The Old 50 widening project, the state has given us a letter, they've pushed the bid letting to August of 23.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And they're planned production. They come back in and ask for that to be evaluated for guardrails on the structures. So we've been doing that and the plans aren't complete. They have been given to Cook Flat. We've asked them to complete them for us, the cross sections. So that's a hang up to them.
So this would be starting looking at spring of 24 then.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we can find somebody that'll do it in the late summer or fall of next year.
Asphalt season ends around November 1st, give or take.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
The cost would be elevated so much to do it. Well, they're not
If
looking.
try to expedite it, it would, yeah.
August, is that what they say?
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, there's no
2024.
30 days from the bid date? Ain't no way.
Well, I just thought I'd pass that on. I knew it wouldn't be popular,
That's
but
bad news, Joe.
I know it is.
Good.
Well, I guess this wasn't quite as bad, but it's gonna cost a little bit more money. So, Bridge 127, 128 that's been designed, by B&G, which is one of our projects. It's not one of the cost share projects, it's one we're paying for. We're getting very close to, being able to bid those two bridges. Ryan just finished up the easements, he'll have them done this week. But the, as they're going through and getting the permits, the Corps of Engineer, sent out their recommendations, and the Kansas Historical Society says that there's an increased potential to serve intact cultural resources within the scope of our project. So we have to have a historical survey done at those bridges, meaning I think Native Americans is what they're looking at, could have potentially camped on those water sources.
Those are two down and
On Homestead. So, Brady from B&G has sent out, there were some recommendations of people that do that kind of survey. He sent out, requests for proposals. I'll see what those prices are and I'll get back with you. I mean, obviously if they're cheap enough, we'll be able to just move forward with one of them. If it gets into a bidding type deal, they're actually putting in proposals to us. But if we have to go into the formal bid process, that'll be something. Pump the brakes, get a motion to do that. I have a feeling it's not gonna be where we need to take formal bids, as long as we have the quotes on it, but.
TPs are down, aren't they?
Everything that I can see it is, but I just wanted to pass on those two things that are going on with those projects. Just really hoping to get those bid out and construction in 2023, so.
Sounds like that might be iffy as well.
I don't know. As we move forward this time of year and start looking at budget, I know there's several dollars that will be moving for these projects.
that are in our budgets now, so we'll keep that in mind and keep looking at that and make sure all the money's, there that was, is called for. Sure, I didn't have 100% good news, but 75% can't be that bad.
We won't hold you to the fire.
Try 80% next week.
Hopefully I don't have to come back next week.
That'll be 100% better right then.
What if I'm not here? Okay, that's all I have.
Do you need me to do the disposal notice for you to be covered?
Do you mind?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that'd be great. I was gonna ask and I forgot.
Okay.
Do you guys have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. A little behind, Housing Authority, Rhonda Gilbert, Leroy Project. I called this morning to have you come in, with an update on the project down there. We haven't heard anything.
Absolutely.
Well, I've heard a lot.
Yeah,
I haven't
me too.
heard
I've heard a
anything
lot
from you.
too.
So,
yeah.
I just thought
Yeah.
if there's issues, we just put it out in the airway and,
Absolutely.
we
No,
go.
we're still plugging along. I have to do a monthly report every month to KHRC about what is going on. We did have a problem with our windows being back ordered. We got those in late October. And so we wanted to get the windows in, of course, before we started to brick. And if you've been down there, you'll see all the amazing scaffolding that's up there ready to go and everything. And the brick guys are starting this week. And then as soon as that gets on there, then, we've got a few more windows to put in on the back side, and then we can start working on the inside. It's just been, material has been tough as I'm working with my grants and stuff too. It's terrible getting everything in and stuff. The bathrooms are, the stalls and stuff are there. I've got the appliances, they are being stored. It's just all, timing, but the windows kind of messed us up a little bit.
So you've got the windows now?
Yeah, they came in.
Okay.
We have the ones on the east side put in and the north side so they can start bricking. And I believe that we don't have the west side ones in, a couple of those, but we've got the doors in and stuff, so.
Okay. And like I say, there's a lot of stuff on the air out there.
Yeah.
And so, was the job ever shut down due to any reason?
No, it was not. I mean, just the back ordered windows, if you want to call that.
Yeah.
I got several calls, and I called back several people and said, I hear that you're saying this, it's not true. I've taken draws off of the grant, I've had the grant funding. KHRC is very happy with us right now. And like I said, I have to make a monthly report, what I've done that month, what's coming up, and everything. And so I was very disappointed to hear that that kind of stuff was going around.
It was making it clear for the northwest side of the county.
Oh,
so.
I'm sure.
You know how good news.
Was the windows behind?
13 weeks.
That's what I
Well,
figured.
that was after the first 13 weeks.
Everything.
So, and just to go back on that, the guy that was installing them said that he's got houses up in Kansas City that they've got the interior all finished, they're still waiting on windows.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and if any project was shut down because the county is involved, you would get a letter. You would get an official letter saying there is a problem.
So how's the funding? Is it 3/4? Is it?
How much am I at?
Yeah.
You mean? Oh gosh, I mean I'd have to look that up. I didn't know what you guys wanted today for sure and everything. I'll give you a printout of what we've spent so far if you'd like that.
Okay.
I can get that to you. That's no problem. I've got it on a spreadsheet. I just hate to give you any
Right.
figures on that, but yeah, I mean we have had some draws and stuff and everything, and then on it so far, but yeah.
Right. Well, and you're gonna have that.
Yeah.
With construction.
I've got it broke down like what was for appliances and what just everything. So.
but you have to document that for all their paperwork.
Yeah, they have to have it all. They have to have a copy of everything.
Anybody else got anything? No. So it's gonna be February?
No,
No?
We're hoping to move
hoping
that.
before the end of the year.
Oh, really?
We
So
really
thank you.
are, yeah.
Literally right now, the brick guy's down there running. He did have his scaffolding set up. We was just, so as soon as the windows showed up, because when you brick, you need to have the windows in so you can brick up to the windows. So, that's what threw everything off. So the windows, as soon as we got them, it took the guy, I think, about 7 days. He got there, the windows went in. Brick guy's down there, he's laying the bottom courses starting today, and he'll have more guys tomorrow. Matter of fact, he even called me looking for some blankets, because he took off and didn't bring any blankets, so. But they're rolling, the siding guy's supposed to be there today, start putting the siding up on the other 2 sides. So, it just, the windows really put a big cramp.
So does this have to meet, I don't think Coffee County has any codes, is this supposed to meet certain state codes because of the funding? Is there any inspections?
Oh, yeah.
That they
Yeah.
do?
We always, on our, on any of our grants and our new construction, and even some of our flips, we have them come in and check the concrete, check, you know.
Third party.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. And then the KHRC will come down, of course, and they haven't yet, just because they know that we're behind, and we are not the only one, because they sent out actually an email and said, hey, all the grantees that have received for this last time are complaining about material has gone up and trying to find a better, you know, so everybody's behind. It's not just us, but about different things, but they asked, you know, about on funding, do we need more funding? And so we put in a request for more funding, because costs have definitely went up since I wrote the grant.
Mhm. What do you think the cost, I mean, what do you see the big majority of the increase that's gonna go, that extra funding's gonna have to go to?
Well, you know, we wrote for 540, and we asked for an additional, because if it was 15%, they wouldn't have a problem, an extra 15%. If it was over an extra 15%, you had to get a person in to verify why you needed that much. And,
Basically, you'd have to get an engineer involved.
right,
But
and we didn't need
we
that.
didn't need that.
No, and,
So basically, it's just give another 15%.
yeah, I mean, you know, they'll either say yay or nay, they haven't.
But you
know,
really don't have
said yet.
anything for it to be earmarked to.
Not specifically,
Like-
but we know that,
Well, the brick went up 25,000.
and electric, Kendall Gunlock called me, and some of that stuff he could not get, but,
Boxes.
yes,
It's
so that
just,
went up like 3 times.
so it's definitely a challenge. Anybody that's in construction,
Mm-hmm.
Tom knows, I mean, it's just ridiculous. So, but it is what it is, and, but it's moving forward, like I said, we just, the windows just really hosed the whole thing. Wasn't for the windows, we'd probably be wrapping up right now, and,
That was our plan anyway.
yeah, but we're gonna push hard once, if we keep some decent weather and the brick gets up, get the siding on, we at least had it dried in. You know what I mean, had the roof on, had it dried in. But I didn't wanna push to go get, you know, sheetrock and a bunch of stuff in there if you can't close it up and you're getting moisture in and out. Everybody knows what happens there.
And I got that suggested to me by a contractor, so that was, anyway.
But anyway, but
Good to that.
don't wanna have to do
Should be
stuff
done
twice.
right.
Right. Very well.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to see a list of
Yeah,
the
absolutely, what we spent on it and
expenditures.
everything, of course, no problem.
All
All
right.
right,
Thank
thank you
you.
guys.
Hey, Mark. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Now we're on work session. Oh, you still cutting stuff
Which one
out?
is yours?
Which one was mine?
Yeah.
Where you put it in?
Yeah.
Were you any of
I
these?
think mine was two B, I think.
You any of these?
To be,
Or not to be?
to be or not to
be or not
be.
It's that one right there.
Wherever it's at, right there.
Yep, that looks like it. Close enough.
What you?
I'm in there.
Oh, you're okay, you're
Yeah.
dead.
Hold it, I think you already did.
Huh? There, that's yours.
There's 4 in there.
I know, two's mine,
4A.
one's yours.
Okay, that's
And one's mine.
4D,
That's me.
that's you.
That's me.
That's you?
Tom's got
You put 2
there.
in?
I like 2 of them.
Oh, you didn't tell me I had 2.
Did,
'Cause I might have the same one. Oh, Okay, well, let me see.
One eye end up in there? No? Cut your one eye, 'cause I circled mine, and that might be, yep.
Oh, yeah, that's your wheat.
That's your wheat.
That's his wheat. We're gonna have Mark draw these. Sounds good to me.
And then
Two more in
4A.
here.
I'm gonna put 2 in, 4A.
Already got a 4A.
Alright.
Put a 2-1 in. 2I.
One in there. Oh, no, that's not.
That looks like a Band-Aid.
One eye.
They all have the state except for one. Do you have another one, guys?
Well, then you can draw, and if none of you like that, you can draw again.
No, you just gotta like it.
You
You gotta like it.
No take back.
No.
All right, Mark.
You're serious.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But we could just have a citizen draw them.
You got one?
Right back there. He's a citizen.
Just have the next person who walks down the
Peterson's
hallway.
considered.
Yeah. Well, Mark's a citizen too.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Don't do it wrong, Mark.
Flip a coin to see who draws.
Don't do it wrong.
That kind of one knows you're right.
There's
no right one,
There's no wrong one.
It's not 2B.
Well, it's the only one that doesn't have the state on
State.
it.
Oh. Can we do a redo?
That's good, but I
Here, we're
really
gonna throw
I
that one
really
out.
would like to have
The state's credit.
It's good, but I'd really like to have the state.
I would
on it.
too.
I don't know.
Come on.
Maybe Steve should do that.
You can get blamed.
That's 2 out of 3, right?
Evidently. I thought we was just gonna live with it, but.
You know, we never live with anything.
Uh-oh.
It's the wheat.
No take back.
Dang Johnson.
I don't know if that's good.
But it doesn't mean that that's what they're going with, right? They just want our
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it.
That's the one.
It's got the state.
It's got the state.
It's
It's got
got
the
weeds.
electrodes.
It's got wheat.
It's all there.
It's okay. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as the project gets going.
You drew mine out, so.
Darn Tim.
Well, you know, that's not my
We-
fault. Somebody put that in there to begin with, so.
It'll be fine.
It'll work, whatever it is, I guess.
If you wanna draw again, it's gotta come out of this trash can.
It's already in there.
I hope that's the same one. Same one.
Quit, Bob.
But I just quit. I did.
Okay.
It's as long as the project goes, it doesn't matter.
Somebody gotta take that to Bobby, cause he was wanting that today.
Yep.
Well, it's Tim's pick, so
I'll talk to Bobby after.
Tim can take it to him. Guy gets his way with everything. These are all the tax abatements.
You want your email back from earlier, Jesse?
No. Well, We might ought to keep that. Yeah,
Indeed.
yeah,
Can we hold on?
yes. Because, as soon as we get that report,
Okay. I guess this would be my roundtable, but, so the company that came up, that Goldberg sent for design of the parking lots, there'll be, we were supposed to get a proposal for the surveying,
mm-hmm,
but the surveying, we didn't get it via email yet, but, the cost associated with just the surveying is $8,000. I was supposed to let you all know that. We were hoping, like I say, to have somewhat of a proposal in front of us, but me and Sheriff Johnson.
just to do the survey and the drawings, $8,000 basically?
Just the survey.
Just the survey itself?
Yes. There's a lot of topos to be shooting between, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 blocks plus, well, 1, 2, 3, and then 3.5 blocks plus the parking lot over there, so. I don't believe it to be out of line myself. But again, we don't have I just bring it up so that when we do get a proposal, well, we're supposed to be, I don't know where we should go from here, I don't know whether we should, just go ahead and approve it, so we don't slow anything down.
Well, we really don't have a choice.
No,
I don't think.
we don't, but I mean, without something sitting in front of us either, I don't mean.
Right, true that.
It would just be a email between Sheriff Johnson and the firm. And it had me attached. Wade knows some about it.
Do we think that parking lot's gonna be done before they start doing construction over there?
It has to be.
It has to be, almost. Some parking somewhere is gonna have to be done.
Yeah.
Well, I just know we're gonna have the different lines in the streets, which is gonna gain quite a little bit of parking, you know, to the existing.
When you say parking lot, you also talking about the angle parking also?
Yeah, it
It's all
starts from,
included together?
8 to 7, from 7 to 6, then from 6 to Des Moines.
But the survey includes all that?
Yes, and then it, goes from Des Moines to halfway down over here, and then the entire parking lot over there.
Alright.
I know when I hire a surveyor for a project that I might general, it's around $2 a foot for curb. So if you know, if you got 3,000 foot of curb, it's roughly 6,000 to get it all surveyed, so that's why I say I don't think it's too far out of line when the average block is approximately 400 feet long. That's 4, 8, 12, 15, and then plus everything over there, so that's why I say I don't. And then you got storm sewer to go along with that, and there's some, well, he's doing the water study as well. So that's why I don't think it's too far out of line, or I don't think it's out of line.
There's a heck of a lot of checks here.
Those are, from longevity.
Longevity. Goodness gracious. Is that what this tabulation total is? 108,000 longevity total? 108,282.50
And longevity?
in longevity.
Are we advertising for another, planning board member?
Yes.
We are, okay.
We've got 2 applications, don't we?
The second one hasn't returned yet, but that should be coming. I was hoping it would have been in, then we had that long weekend.
You know, if you find somebody from District 2, that would be good, because you've got about 3 of them from 5.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've only got 1 from 4 too, so. If you can get 1 from 2 or 4, it would be better, kind of spread them out. And then we're gonna have 5 three hospital board members. We reappointed Steve Hopkins already.
So this is the planning,
Planning board.
Yeah.
You've, got 1 from your district already that's new.
From my district?
No, Tim's.
yes.
It's a thankless job.
Oh, yes, it is.
And the question was asked is, can more than 1 person be on a board? Can a person be on more than 1 board? How's that?
Well, that's been discussed before, and the point of it is, if you wanna get a variety of citizens involved, and when you start stacking boards with the same person, then you're kinda eliminating more citizens.
Yeah, and I realize that, but if you don't have anybody coming out to do it, who's gonna volunteer their time to do it? It's an unpaid position.
Most of the people from District 5 are,
But apparently, well, there's a lot of people from District 5.
yeah. I personally would not be in favor of it unless it was down to the nitty gritty, because there's other opportunities.
How many applicants have you received?
Received 1, expecting a second one.
So when is the deadline?
Any ideas?
It said until filled.
But, I mean, we've already got 1 application, we probably should review it.
But we have 2 people, right? That's neat. Just 1?
1 to the
One.
planning. Planning, zoning, they're the same board, aren't they? Yeah.
Yes.
They hold their meetings on Wednesday evening, is that right?
Wednesday, yeah, once a
Once a month.
month if they have anything. They do have something this Wednesday.
Yes.
Let's say 2 and 4 only have 1, 5 has 3, 1 has 2, and 3 has 2 districts. Which kind of spreads them around.
Wait till we get the other application, I guess.
It wouldn't be any different than somebody just missing a meeting, not having Decent position.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the other one.
Yeah.
I was in Pittsburgh for a meeting Thursday. When I left at 1:30, 2 o'clock, it was 72 degrees in Pittsburgh. When I got to Greenbush, which is 10 miles west of Girard, maybe, it was 48 degrees. A little cooler.
Cooler about 30.
And it went just like that.
Winterized my camper yet, so that's what I did Thursday.
I was saved after I got done with the water hose.
I did all that first.
Saved by the bell.
In the heated building, you don't have to winterize it.
I don't have a building that, well, I've got several buildings, not one that big.
It'd be cheaper to winterize it than heat the building.
It was a little over $15, I believe I'll survive.
I about got writer's cramp.
Be glad you're not writing Robert Hill strips.
I just do that. Takes a long time to spend $108,000.
No? Not really.
Not really.
I like that one.
I do.
Weed bender.
Wait, say anything about having anything for roundtable today?
Yeah, I can run down there and try to keep it anything while we're doing
Might ask you.
They go down the lobby.
They have a powwow down there, was it?
Steve Brash goes down there.
It's
okay.
Got some,
Just low joint and Bobby too.
Yeah, I think it's where that. Sometimes if you have a lot of pictures too, you gotta go, I mean, in your message.
Oh, yeah.
Cause it will block it down.
Oh, yeah. It is stinky. It's gross.
you don't like it either.
Even Verizon's kicking it out.
See, you gotta redraw.
No. The award-winning
Now, the award winner is the one you all rejected when you first threw it.
Now, why do we throw out Tom's, we didn't throw out yours? Because Jesse and I didn't pick yours either.
I kinda liked the first one, to be honest.
I did too. I was awesome. Had the K for Kansas, everything.
But it don't have the state symbol.
And
It don't have the state.
They didn't have no.
Well, if you
You're
want
gonna
to
get,
state the
that could be
somewhere.
in,
Huh?
that could have been in
Didn't
California.
have any wheat stubble on it
That's why I
either.
like those two.
Yes. That's how we got our start. The wheat state.
This has nothing to do
It
with
takes
wheat.
care of the pattern of the state. That way you know you're no longer, you're not in California.
We all know that, so do
You know you're in Kansas when you say.
Scarecrow. Oh, Scarecrow. See, I'm really into that show. I'm really into that show.
Grows on you, like the wheat symbol, it grows on you.
Angie, you got anything for roundtable, Deb?
So after you guys passed the motion last week for the sick leave, capping it at 960 hours, I received calls from employees. They, currently, and how the policy manual will be going forward, they're going to earn 8 hours a month. So they said basically they're going to be forced to take a sick day every month if they're at the 960.
No, they're not. Sick leave is a benefit, it's not a have to use or.
But what I'm saying is, okay, so if you cap it at 960, say this month, they're going to earn 8 hours next month.
That's 960 up a year.
Right. But what I'm saying,
They can't carry over 960 a year, is what that means.
okay, so what you're saying then is that, let's say, if we did this back in June, stopped it at 960, but they still earned 8. If they were to get sick in December, they could use those excessive 8s and then capped at 960 to go to the next year. They'd drop off, right?
They can only carry over 960.
Okay, so,
They can accumulate 12 a year, but they can only carry over the 960.
okay, and so then,
That's not forcing them to take
Yeah.
a day of sick leave.
but that's how they see it though.
Let's just do away with sick leave. That's it. It's, sick leave is a benefit, it's not something that has to be given.
I say however we present it is accepted or not.
They don't, they.
Because it is a benefit.
If they never have Joe Heinz used, then they can, or stockpile, they can carry it to 960. Because there's only, I think,
There's a handful, yeah.
there were 3 or 4 that had over 960. Everybody else was well
Under.
below, so they're not losing it.
Right.
They just can't go over 960.
So if they're at 960 in January and they gain 8 every month, if they get sick, they can use that that's over the 960, but at the end of the year, they will only carry over 960.
Correct, that's right, that's exactly right.
Okay. And then.
Basically, 960 is gonna be their little stockpile slush fund for when they
Leave.
retire, leave, whatever.
And before, on the old way of doing it was they lost the first 160 hours.
Mhm.
Now they get paid 100% of the first 160, and then 50% of everything else.
Mhm.
So
And you can bet there will be people who use a day of sick leave every month, because to me, them, it's, boy, golly, I got it and I'm gonna use it, whether they need to or not.
so they're setting at 500. They don't use any all year, and then they just get to add 12 more until they reach 960, and then
Okay.
done.
I just wanted to be sure we were clear on what you guys wanted.
That's the way I understand it.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay. All right, so, and then since we've already, do you want this paid out at the end of this month? I mean, you made it effective November 7th. So those few that have over the 960, do we pay it out at the end of November? Or,
We ran that, we looked at those numbers, didn't we?
Mhm.
Terry took them back, but it wasn't as catastrophic as what we thought.
It wasn't.
Yeah, whatever.
okay,
Get it done, I guess.
It'd be nice for
No,
Christmas.
we passed it, so we
Yeah.
need to
okay.
make it pay off.
We will do it as soon as, I don't know if we can do it this week, maybe we can, but we'll see how it goes. The other thing was Christina asked if, so when we start the short-term disability, do you guys want employees to take any sick leave they have first before getting the short-term disability? Because there's gonna be a 7 or 14-day window before short-term disability would kick in. I think it might be 7 days. And then if not, can an employee take the short-term disability as well as receive supplemental pay from the county? So it'd be 60% short-term disability, 40% county sick leave to receive full pay.
That was kind of my question, I believe, in there, if they can supplement their sick leave along with the short-term disability. I don't know what the requirements would be from the short-term disability, because if you're actually getting sick leave, would your short-term disability be justifiable? Does
So
that
maybe
make
I need to
sense?
contact that company and find out more information.
Be like double dipping.
Be like double dipping.
They wouldn't, maybe they won't allow it.
But the
I don't
first part of that question is, yes, they would need to use sick leave till short-time disability
Right.
kicked in.
They would have that 7 days or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean-
Okay, so yes on that.
Or the 960.
And
I
then,
think Jesse's right, I don't think that will be allowed after the waiting period.
Well, and it's our own personal deal, so we're gonna have to make it however we wanna make it. I believe, under a self-insured
yeah,
program, you can write the policy however you
yes,
want to,
that's correct.
but I would do it to benefit the county.
I know Aflac wouldn't let that happen.
But they wouldn't allow self-insured for short-term probably, right? Or not?
I don't think you can draw both.
Okay.
I think,
That'd be a question for them.
I can
yeah,
call that
big question,
company and ask them.
It'd be a question, but I wouldn't know why they would object to it.
I don't know.
I mean, it's your.
Well, it's a benefit, and there's certain criteria that you have to meet for that benefit, but there's also the backside of, you can't have anything else, the reason you got that benefit.
Right.
So realistically, if you've got sick leave or you got short-term disability, why would you want the short-term disability? You have all the sick leave. So your sick leave's gonna take up your sick leave could, your days off could take up all of your short-term disability time frame, realistically, at 100% pay. And your short-term disability is gonna be 60% of pay. And then once, what was
Capers
the
would
timing?
then kick in.
What was the timing for long-term disability? I
Yeah.
mean, so how far did
I think that's what
short-term?
the plan we were going with was to get us to that point for long-term.
Right, so, I mean,
Whatever, I don't know if it was 3 months.
Whatever the company says we can do, we need to know that first.
I'll call them now. about that.
yeah.
And everything's planned for the Thanksgiving dinner. And then,
And when is it?
Friday,
This Friday,
from 11 to 1, yeah, right in the basement.
in the basement.
And it's to go carry out like before. And the only other thing is, could I request an executive session for non-elected personnel?
Sure. How long?
10 minutes or 15, what do you think?
15?
15?
Who's gonna be there?
Commission and myself. Do you wanna go? That's fine, Wade can be there.
Okay.
I just making sure.
Yeah.
Executive session, 15 minutes, the board, county clerk, Wade Bowie,
Non-elected.
non-elected personnel, for 15 minutes. I'll move.
Second.
We will enter at
All
Oh,
in favor?
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We will enter at, 11:20. Was Wade coming back up here, or did he stay down
I
there?
don't know.
I don't know.
He knows. He might stay.
I was hoping maybe he'd be here. I'm thinking timing. My wheels are spinning. I don't think so.
20.
Thinking 2025. But we can't go in under.
Anyway.
This is not elected.
Yeah. See, that's, Angie was elected, so that's what I didn't understand, why we went under non-elected
Because
person.
it's not about her.
Oh, okay.
But about
Gotcha.
her.
I got it set on 20,
Let's get 20 and then
but we need to make sure Wade's
Included.
ready.
you don't know where Wade is.
Wade might have where he's at.
Wade.
You still gonna join us, correct? You stay there, okay.
All right, and catch over.
Give us 3 minutes extra to get walk.
Okay, back to executive session under the same heading as last. The only addition is Andrea to be added to the executive session for 20 minutes. We will enter at 11, all in favor? Need a motion. How about
I'll
a motion?
make the motion.
Okay. Second, I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we will enter at 11:43 for 20 minutes. 11:43 for 20 minutes. Wade, stay down there.
Stay down
Yeah.
there. Gotcha.
20 minutes?
I'm gonna go 30.
I would.
I'm gonna say, under the same heading, same people.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
And move seconded for a 30-minute executive session under the same heading, same people. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We're going in for 30 minutes. I hate this thing. We will enter at 12:07. For 30 minutes. I move, we go back into executive session again, same people, same everything. For, I think we can get it done in 20 minutes.
Stomach is saying yes.
That's 22. Tom, you might have to have this thing again. It's going.
It's touchy.
It's very touchy.
We
Okay.
need a second?
Motion.
Oh, I'll make the motion.
Tim's moved. I'll second. Any discussion? Hearing none. We will, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I will enter at 12:41 for 20 minutes, I said,
I'm not in
right?
favor, but I suppose we don't.
Nope, not in favor at all.
I don't know what
I'll keep
happened.
forgetting.
Can you put batteries in there?
I did, and then I just reset the time this morning when it was an hour off, so yeah, I have no idea why it said that.
Obviously.
We got this stuff to sign?
Yeah, that's all correspondence, and then that one is the request for a sheriff.
You said one's registered deeds?
Oh, no, shared lead was the one that had
Oh.
been discussed, and now they actually need it now.
Oh, okay, a knee surgery deal, I think, wasn't it?
I think there's a place for you to sign the actual.
Oh, is there a place
form
for me to
behind
sign
it.
that? Throw that back when you're done, buddy. Yeah, right there. And Mark,
And then-
yes.
Yep, and then I'll get that back to Jeff.
Angie, do you have any round table? We already went
No,
through
we
that,
already
didn't
just went through all of that, so
I'm already scrambled.
I don't have anything else.
Tim, do you have any round table?
Not today.
Not gonna flash your card anymore?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Tom, you got any round table today?
No, I spoke of earlier about the survey
Yep.
deal. I see they're out there.
I seen somebody walk by the window down there.
We're doing checks and vouchers 28th, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Thanksgiving's this Thursday, Thanksgiving dinner's this Friday.
Friday,
Thanksgiving's not just Thursday.
Thanksgiving
next Thursday.
Commission,
Yes.
county luncheon.
It's Friday.
This
Yeah.
Friday, yes, this Friday. What'd I say?
I don't know, you do
Thursday.
Thursday, you do Thanksgiving and Thursday in there somehow.
I had a stroke walking back from
Is
this.
it? However. And that's at what time?
11:30 to 1,
And who's doing it this year?
Hog
Bob
meal.
Mann?
You said the board decided we
Rotate.
would alternate. And so, I guess I can tell you about the menu a little bit. We're not gonna have turkey. He's unable to get some turkey, so he's gonna just do all ham and potatoes, green beans, and corn. We'll have roll, salad, and desserts.
No pulled pork?
Do you want me to call him and ask him about that?
No.
Okay.
I'm just curious, I thought, he's a hog man, he ought to have pork, pulled pork.
It's ham,
Ham.
ham's home. So 11 o'clock, I gotta make me a bed. How do I make it?
So, we really don't need to be here too quick early then to help serve him, because he should take care of most stuff, right?
Well, but we'll have salads to put in containers and desserts to cut and put in containers.
Oh, okay.
So if you guys want to be here early to help, you can.
I got my alarm clock set to remind me at 10:30 to be here.
So, if you're in Omaha, 10:30.
It won't make it. I won't make it.
For the week.
You got any round table?
The Moderneers here today doing the controller and the actual upgrade of the computer.
Yeah, Barb said it was here, maybe you said it was here earlier. That was when Tom was downstairs.
See if that's fine with.
That it?
You didn't ask me around.
I know, I skipped around.
I'm still making my list.
Making this. I don't think I have anything as well. Apparently, Wade doesn't have anything, I guess. He's gotta know we wasn't gonna hang out very long.
I asked him if he'd bring us back down, he said no.
Okay. We won't ask twice. Maryland's retirement party is, the 29th of November, from 1 to 3 at the courthouse. Meeting room A and B, that's downstairs. I hope she gets to enjoy it. Nobody has anything else? Oh, Tim's not done yet.
I'm hurrying, I'm taking notes.
Like, oh, Tim.
I think I'm done.
Nobody has anything else, we will adjourn at, 1:08. No objections.
Leave tomorrow night.